Hello everyone and welcome back to another round preview for the GTWS Nations Cup for 2026. We're going to look at rounds 3 and 4. We had some interesting races in round 1 and 2. We had the weather change at Spa, we had the clean sprint at Montreal, and for this week we have something a little bit different. For this one we are going off to the Nürburgring for the GP layout, not the full thing, thankfully, for 20 laps with 5 minutes of qualifying and 2 times fuel burn, 5 times tyre burn, with only the medium, the intermediate and the wet tyre available to us. The curveballs for this one, we can only use 4 cars, and they are the Ferrari 296 GT3 and the Porsche 911 GT3R from 2022. Both those cars were in the last 2 updates. They represent the older cars a little bit. We've got the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 and the McLaren 650S GT3. I've run a race sim. I've seen mostly just Ferraris and Porsches. And I run the Porsche in the race sim, which we'll see in a minute. We're going to go into that in a minute. It is a mid-speed race for balance of power, which tends to lead itself to these cars anyway, so there's not really an advantage there. And you're partially allowed to adjust the brake balance. The big curveball for this one is this. Minimum number of pit stops. 2. Now I'm going to show you what pit strategy I used in a practice lobby and how the tyres burnt. As I say, there's no real rain expected for this with 2 mandatory pit stops. I've not seen any indication of any rain whatsoever. I can't say it's not going to happen. I can't say it's not random because I don't know 100%, but I would say 99.9% sure there'll be no rain for this one. So let's take a look at the race sim that I did, and I can show you tyre wear, which laps and which laps I stopped on. So this was the practice lobby I was in, and we are going to run down everything that happens in terms of tyre burns so you guys know exactly what you need to look out for. This car is loud. I forget how loud this car is. Anyway, so lap 1, your pitch point is going to be here at turn 1 with the hairpin as usual. You guys play a lot of graduates, but you know this. First section of Nürburgring GP is very awkward, especially in pack racing. So just try and survive this first lap as best you can. Slide the car out a bit, Evan. Slide the car out a bit. You won't have to worry about fuel. Fuel will be tight. That's wrong one. It will be tight, but you will be fine. You don't have to fuel save in the Porsche. Now, I can't say the same thing about the Ferrari or the Lamborghini or the McLaren. I haven't driven them. I can't say. I've driven the car that I am setting up to drive the event in, and the Porsche, fuel-wise, is fine. One car did fuel save a little bit, ever like the I'm fighting side by side with the other Porsche at the moment. Did fuel save a little bit, but I didn't need to. I had no problems. I didn't have the indication to save for fuel. Up the shoeback arrest, which is, I say flat, I lifted. It took me a while to get into this one pace-wise. We are going to look at the tyre. You might be able to see it's starting to go a little bit already, not massively. I didn't think this was going to be a problem, but we stopped on lap... end of lap 6 we stopped. Now this is the tyre condition on lap 6. You can see the bottom left hand corner there next to the fuel gauge. It's not at halfway. I went a little bit early because I was just to try and undercut, just to try and get something on the 2 cars ahead of me. So I'm going to be the first out of 3 of us to stop. Which will be this lap. It says, where are we? Here we go, we're coming in now to make our pit stop. Now the gap when we come in was, let me just double check the gap when we come out, you're going to tell me. Okay. The gap when we come in is about 3 seconds. If I remember correctly. Don't hold me to that, don't measure it. Don't measure it. So we're going to come and do our pit stop. On the next lap, Evan Black, who was ahead of us, has stopped. Now, we're not going to make up a lot of time. I had a few issues on my out lap. It took a bit of time for me to get back into the room of things. The outlier here is the leader, who doesn't stop for another 2 laps. Let's say. Here we go. So he's in now. And now he stopped on lap 11, lap 10, lap 11. And we're going to come out more or less side by side with him as we go into the hairpin. We're certainly going to put him under pressure here. He didn't stop twice, he only took the 1 stop and got the penalty for it, because of course you have to stop twice. I'm going to park it right behind him for now. So once again, I'm going to stay out for lap 12. And on lap 13, I'm going to come in this lap, and you can see again the tyre is about the same state as it was at the end of lap 6. So that's what we're just always changing the tyre. I don't feel it's worth not changing the tyre. You're going to lose time if you do not change your tyre when you pit stops in that middle stint. You're going to be a sitting duck. You're going to be absolutely sitting duck. There's a car we come up against later on who doesn't do the second stop and is still running the same mediums, and he is struggling hard. And much me and Emma Black got past him, we both sped off into the distance very, very quickly. So I do recommend changing your tyre every stop. It just makes sense to me. It's what I'm going to be running, it's what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to come at the end of this lap. I'm just going to show you as we're coming in what the state of the tyre is. That is gravel. So the tyre's getting towards halfway burn now. Not much else really you can do with that. If you're going to stay out, you can't really. You've got to stop anyway. So what I will take the tyre on your pit stop and leave it there. Into the chicane we go. Is this a clean one? I'm going to hit the bollard. Oh well, there we plant that. So me and Evan Black get the same idea. We're both going to come in together. Pit lane's a bit awkward. Don't go too fast. Obviously, you're going to go straight on. You don't want to go straight on and get yourself a penalty. There. That is your rundown for race 1. Well, round 3. Race 1 of the 2 coming up the Wednesday, Saturday flip over. Saturday's race, round 4, is very unique indeed. Let's go and take a look at it. 4. We are at Circuit de Saint Croix. This is going to be the B layout. This is a track we don't see very often on rotation on the dailies. We're running the F3500As, which there goes, which are a little bit more powerful than the Bs and a little bit more downforce as well. For this race, we're going to do 24 laps with a qualifying of 6 minutes. There'll be a 2 times tyre burn in the qualifying and a 4 times tyre burn in the race. Now, the fuel burn 2 times as well. With this one, we have to use the medium and the soft tyre. There is no weather on this track, so don't have to worry about the inters or the wets. This track does not run any weather. 24 laps is an ask. It is going to be a long one for this. I'm going to take you around the track for it, and we're not going to get too much into the terms of the tyre burn. I think when I run this, I'll be running medium first. I think it's the best way to do it. This track's wide. It's awkward in places as well. Turn 1's going to be interesting. It's a very fast corner. This is your first major pinch point. We're busy lobby, but you've got a lot of tarmac to work with, more than you think. And this awkward downhill section towards the bridge. Get that wrong and you're in the wall. Across the bridge we go. So another 90-degree corner. It's long sweeping right-hander now. You're patient with it. More on the left-hand side just wants to drag you out there. And depending on which layout you're on depends when you turn right, and on this layout we turn right quite early on this street. There's a nice wide section here, and it's really wide open. Right-hander. Flat through here. I believe your penalty line will be there. That is a lap of St. Croix. As I say, it's not a track we get very often on the dailies. It's definitely not a track we see around this car. I think it's the first time we've ever had this combination of track and car. So I think a few people are going to have to sit and practice this one before Saturday's race. That's round 4. And like I said, my strategy for this one will be mediums and then softs at the end. Just see how the mediums last year. I think each driver's going to have a different experience with the mediums overall. If they're going about 17 laps, that'd be nice. There is no mandatory pit stop, but you do have to run both tyres at some point. Let us know what you think of the upcoming round 3 and 4 races, what your rule sets are, what you might do differently, and also let us know how your rounds go. I hope you guys are having a decent Nations Cup so far. We are having a great Nations Cup so far. Check out the videos on the channel so far. Despite the fact I moaned like hell during round 2. There you go, there's what's happening. And I'll see you guys next time for round 5 and 6 review video and all our daily races. Please check out all the GT7 content on the channel and some other stuff that we have as well that we'll be doing as side projects. Thank you very much.